How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the very first video in this probably short series of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. I have been absolutely obsessed with this game lately. I have been basically non-stop playing it. I like charging my phone 2 or 3 times a day. This game has just absolutely... What's going on with the 2 there? Hang on. Right up here. Right up here. What's going on with that? That's a little different, but anyways, like I said, I've been just all over this game lately. I've been really grinding out. But today, at least for this video, I am hoping to show you guys like just a general like basics of what Dragon Ball Z Dokkan is. I've only got a few different like thoughts on what I'm going to do for this game on here on YouTube. But I may think of more as we go along. I may think of more later on. So don't count this out after, 2 or 3 videos. I really love this game. I don't know much about Dragon Ball, but this game is so much fun to me for some reason. So don't be surprised if we see a lot of this in the future. But first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of show you what this game is. And just kind of give like a beginner's guide almost. Not like, I shouldn't say that because I really don't know enough about the game to give a guide on how to begin. So what we're going to do for this first one is kind of do like a rundown of how the game starts and then just some, I guess, a few tips on what you should probably do next. Now, if you want like a more in-depth guide for beginners, I highly recommend you go check out Goresh on YouTube, Goresh. He just uploaded a beginner's guide pretty recently on his channel. Lots of great information. I'm giving you my perspective right now on pretty much what I did, and then some things I wish I did, or I wish I knew about before I decided to just go spinning all of my Dragon Stones willy-nilly the second I got them. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into it, and I'll show you the quest missions first. So if you see on the screen right now, there's all these different areas. The very first one is here. We'll go ahead and just show you the very, very first mission you can do after the opening, like, introduction stuff. When you first start up the game, it's going to do its like little intro sequence stuff. It's going to show you how to play the game, which I will real quick kind of do a brief demonstration. I'm going to do it on Z hard because I can't. No, that's a waste of stamina to do this mission on Z hard. We're going to go ahead and use this person's unit. I'm really struggling to speak here. But so this is kind of what the game looks like. It's almost like a board game in a sense, and then you've got these numbers at the bottom. Those will dictate how far you move, and then you can see like what space you're going to land on. So right here, if we use the 6, which is that, we're going to land on this space. If we use the 3, we'll land on that one, and if we use the 1, we'll land on this space. It is it is dictated based on your current position, and then starting in front of you, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you go along. We're going to go ahead and use the 6 because I want this training item. So you'll see these different icons throughout the screen. I'll go ahead and explain what a couple of them are. So this is going to be Zenny. It's going to be the main currency in the game for buying things. It's kind of like your like typical coins in a game. Right here, we're going to have one of the Hoi Poi capsules from the show, except they don't have cars and planes in them right now. They actually have different items that will help you throughout the game. So these blue ones, or the ones with the blue stripes, are going to have these support items that you see here. And then... Oh, I didn't know you could use that outside of battle. But a lot of them you can only use in battle. Some of them you can use outside of battle like this. I don't know if you can get to it from here. No, you can't. So those are going to be support items, those blue ones. These red ones here are going to be training items. I'll show you the training after we get through this mission. And then there's another hoi poi capsule color that we don't see on here right now. It's going to be a purple color, and those are going to be awakening medals. So again, I'll show you what the awakening is after we get out of this mission and after we get through some of the more basic stuff. But for now, we're going to go ahead and hit 3 so we can go get another training item. There are different other spaces, I guess I should have probably pointed out before I landed on them. This question mark can be pretty much any of the different kinds of spaces. It can be Zinni, it could be training items, support items, awakening medals, the kind of space I just landed on, which is an extra key buff for the battles. So the battles are based on the amount of key you have, and based on the amount of key you have, that's going to dictate how much damage you do with your attacks. So those question mark spots can have that as well, or they can have an enemy attack on them, which I see way too often when I land on the question marks. And that'll just deal a certain amount of damage to you. I don't think it's any kind of percentage or anything. I think it's just, it varies depending on the attack spot. And then here we have a boss. The regular enemy spots are just going to have a red square under them here, and generally they won't say stop. Sometimes they do say stop, just to, I guess, make sure you're not just flying through the levels. Like, you actually have to take a little time with it. But here, the bosses will have a purple square underneath them. We're going to go ahead and fight this one. It's going to be extremely easy. Like, this is the first boss in the game. Like, other than the intro thing where it literally like holds your hand and tells you, like, forces you to do something, this is the first boss you fight. So we're going to go ahead and just choose some key spheres here. I just made a bad move with that. Generally, you want to make sure you're like switching up your team so that they are benefited from the links they have with each other. I'll go over links probably in a different video because that's a little bit more in depth than this like introductory stuff. But the battle system is actually really simple. Normally I would probably put, I'm going to go ahead and do this arrangement just because the key is better at the bottom. This will be kind of their attack, not the amount of damage they do, but the higher this number is, the more they're going to do as far as damage is concerned. Some of them will link together. You'll see these arrows here. This line between means they are linked, I believe. And then when they're grayed out like that, that means you've already chosen the key spheres for them. You can't move them around now. When they've got these arrows on them, that means that's your current unit that you're using to attack. So if we switch, then those arrows stay in the middle here. I'm going to do this and then choose these purple key spheres so that when we use our blue unit, we can use these blue key spheres. So the key spheres are going to be, they're going to kind of coincide with the type of the unit. I guess I really should have explained that while the battle was up and could explain it. But I guess that just means we'll have to get into more battles and I'll have to explain that. But we will go ahead and, I know I said I would explain some of the training and awakening stuff after that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you some different battles so I can actually fully in depth explain the battle system. So some of the levels, as you can see in the middle of the screen there's that red circle underneath the enemy. That's just a normal enemy. You don't have to stop at them since they don't say stop next to them. Some of them are going to be a really straightforward map like this, but on this one on the side, there's actually different spots that you can go to, and I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. So we'll go ahead and see if we can manage to do that. Now this is actually a really bad start to this, because it's either I take damage from the enemy attack spots, which are those red circles with the yellow crosshairs on them, or I battle an enemy, which I don't really want to do at the moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some damage from this one. 32,000 damage may seem like a lot when you're starting out, but for me, I have 320,000 health right now, and I'm sure that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but compared to a newer player, that's a decent amount of health. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can find one of the Nimbus spaces. You know what? We might not be able to. Come on, Nimbus. Flying Nimbus. No. Flying Nimbus. This is the last chance. Well, I feel a little bit embarrassed by that. So we didn't find the flying Nimbus in the question marks. Sometimes there's going to be the cloud that transports you to different parts of the map within those question marks, and you have to just kind of get lucky, honestly. But now, since we are back into the battle system, I can go ahead and explain it a little bit better than I did last time. So there are 5 types. You can see them listed up here in this pentagon. There's going to be Tech, TEQ, which is the green type. Agility, or AGL, which is the blue type. The STR, which I assume means strength, which is the red type. The PHY, which is physical, which is the orangish yellow type. The purple type is going to be INT, INT, and that's going to be, this purple, like I said. And then it shows you how those are all effective against each other. So green is good against blue, blue is good against red, red is good against the orange, orange is good against the purple, and purple is good against green. And then conversely, or inversely I should say, the green is bad against the purple, purple bad against yellow or orange, and then, etc. as it goes around. So you want to make sure you're using the proper characters for these fights. Now, honestly, with how beefy my team is, you can see down here some of these stats on them, you really don't need to worry too much about it in these story missions and the quest missions. But when you're in some of the more event-based stuff, that's when you really need to pay attention to a lot of the finer details about the battling, because man, you will stand zero chance if you do not pay attention to that. But for now, since I have a green unit up front, I will go ahead and hit this rainbow key sphere, which is basically a wild card, and it's going to auto select the green key spheres up there. This guy is a blue unit, an AGL unit, so I will go ahead and select the blue spheres. And again, it's going to use up these rainbow key spheres when they link together. Just gives you one extra key. And then for this red unit, I'm going to hit this red key sphere. Now, sometimes it's actually worth clicking key spheres that don't belong to the same type as the unit you're using. The key spheres each give +1 key to your unit, and as your unit gets more key, they're more likely to do a super attack, which we just saw there from our AGL Gohan. Those super attacks obviously do way more damage than the regular attacks. Go ahead and get through the clear stuff. I'm going to do this mission again because I'm really trying to get to that other area. I got there one time and I got screwed over. I'll show you what I'm trying to get over there. But we'll go ahead and hit one. We found a ultra rare support item. Come on. Flying Nimbus. Come on. Be kind. Why are you being so mean to me? Okay, I'm just going to take the hit. I want to keep that 4 so that when I get over here, I guess I'll explain now. If you see over here, there's a couple different spots that we didn't see before. Actually, there's a few if you see down here too. So this one down here is going to have the uncommon gems or rare gems or whatever they're called. Those are just a form of treasure that you can use as a currency in the Baba shop. Now this is Baba. She runs the Baba shop on the main screen. I'll show you it in a bit. But there are also Baba spaces where you can buy support items from her. And then this is what I'm really trying to get to right now. Um, this is a Dragon Ball, you know, from the name Dragon Ball. So you know it's pretty important if it's within the very name of the entire franchise. Um, so if you've seen the show, you know what it's for. If not, I'll explain it. You need to collect 7 of these within the game in order to make a wish on the main screen of the game. When you make that wish, you get to choose different like perks you get from it. Some of them are like you get extra dragon stones to make more summons, and then you'll add extra character slots to your inventory too. Some of them will give you training items or awakening medals or just different stuff like that. It's really good to get those wishes granted. Like you just propel yourself and accelerate yourself through the game so much quicker when you do that, which is why I'm trying so hard to get to that Dragon Ball. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get a Flying Nimbus in the last question mark. So sad. But that's okay, we're getting back into the same battle. I can explain a little bit better. Again, sorry, I am just a tad bit flustered about this video. I'm not quite sure how to explain everything, and there's a lot to do in this game, and there's a lot to this game, like a lot of small details that are explained at the beginning, so they're really simple, but since they are so simple and just like I've just become so unaware of them, or so like used to them that I've become unaware of them. Now you see these rings around the characters. When these rings completely fill up with ki, which you get from these spheres, you can do a super attack. Each ki sphere will give you +1 ki and +1 slot on these rings, unless you use the super, like the same color as the color of your character, then it gives you +2 per ki sphere. So I'll go ahead and show you that. We're going to click on this rainbow one here, and that gave the chain of blues. Those gave +2 to this unit here, so now he's super attacking. LR units like him actually get an ultra super attack or a U super attack. And that happens at 18 ki. The regular super attacks happen at 12 ki. So we're actually just 1 ki off from him using a U super attack, but I think he's actually going to get it from his perk, or from his link skill or category skill. Leader skill is what I'm going for. I'll talk about those more later. We'll go ahead and do another, see how it said ×2 there. Also, when you use, or when you click on the key spheres that are the same type as your units, you'll heal just a little bit. It's not a huge amount, so it's not something to like prioritize the healing from these, because it's not gonna help too much. But in these fights where like the enemies do a small amount of damage, then it can be a little bit helpful, I guess, if you're low on health. But we'll go ahead and click the red key sphere so that our red unit can get 2 times ki. So this is a super attack that we're seeing. They all have animations for the super attacks and the U super attacks. Another super attack that we're seeing. Again, sorry that the quality is a little bit pixely and not the greatest with some of this stuff. It's just what I've got to do for now. Now here, like I said earlier, the purple ones are awakening medals. I didn't explain earlier that there are different colors for the outer portion of the Hoi Poi capsules. So like a white to light gray color is like a common. A bronze color is a rare. A dark silver is a U rare, and then this is like the most rare version, the golden. You really want to try to get these whenever you see them, because they do have really helpful items sometimes. Items that you're really not going to see or get anywhere else sometimes. So you want to kind of prioritize those if you can. And I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to cut out any attempt at this level from here on out until I get to the Dragon Ball. So I'll see you then. I won't force you to sit through this agony. Alright, so it happened literally immediately that we got over to this portion of the map. Now, this is not a guarantee to get over to the Dragon Ball portion. I still have to land on these question marks in order to cross my fingers and hope that I get there. So let's go ahead and try to do that. Please be kind. Yes. Okay, we're over here. We're with the Dragon Ball. I'm not going to make the mistake of going for the Papa spot and hoping to get another 2 after that, because that would be absolutely tragic if I didn't. I'm just getting the Dragon Ball and I'm leaving. Alright, so I do believe you have to complete the mission, like the entirety of the mission, in order to get any of the items that you like receive during the mission. So we'll go ahead and complete that, and I'll show you on the main screen where the Dragon Balls come into play. Now, one more thing that I didn't mention about the battle screen here. If you look up here, or 2 more things I guess now. If you look up here, you see there's a red crosshair on this unit here. That is who we're attacking right now. You can change that by clicking on them. When I first started the game, I did not know about that, so I thought you had to kill them in order. And man, it makes the game so much easier whenever you prioritize the type effectiveness during the battle. So we'll go ahead and just kind of floor it through here. So see how there is a blue unit that is in charge right now, and there's not like a good opportunity to get blue key. We could hit this rainbow here, and if you see when you hold down on the key sphere, it'll show you the path that it's going to take. Like I said, the rainbow ones are wildcards that will link key together. But whenever you have like a time like that where you're not going to get the same type of key as your unit, generally you can do one of 2 things. You can either just go for the most amount of key that you can possibly get, or you can try to kind of think ahead, strategize. You see what's coming up next down here. So these 3 units, I believe, are going to be what's next in the rotation. So you can, these 2 are AGL units. This one, can't actually tell who that is. Oh, that one's an STR unit. So, you can kind of try and make it so that they'll get the most amount of key that they possibly can. So, there's kind of different strategies to this. And dang it, I'm so sorry. I didn't show another thing at the bottom of the screen that I meant to. I apologize. I will try to show it to you. Well, nope. Because it flashes by super fast with these animations. But essentially at the bottom of the screen, if you go back, you can pause the video and go back and pause it. There's going to be like little indicators of the enemies down at the bottom by your characters, and that shows when they attack. Alright, so we got up a rank. I am now rank 153, and the maximum team cost that I have is increased to 333. So I'll show you that team cost thing. Again, there's so much to this game. And you can see here all the Dragon Balls that we have collected right now. We just need 3 more. If you go to the main screen, if you go to the home screen here, you can click on Shenron, and then you can see how many you've collected. And if you click on the individual Dragon Balls that are grayed out, you can actually see where you can find them. So here it says the area name is Reunited. That is the area that we were in. I'll show you that real quick. Reunited. And then the stage name is Showdown, New Ginyu Force. Difficulty is normal or above. You really want to pay attention to that if you're just trying to run to get all of the Dragon Balls like as fast as possible. Then, like I said, I would teach you about the training, awakening, like just some of the stuff on this screen here. So we'll go ahead and start with the team screen. This is where you can build your teams. Oh shoot, wrong button. Some like missions will have different like requirements for what your team can be. So I made this one for a team that I think had to be a team cost of less than 70, because at the time This guy, I hadn't quite fully awakened him yet. This guy wasn't fully awakened yet, so his team cost was way below that. So their combined team cost was less than 70. And then here, this was the first one that I took time to make. You can see here, this was one that I just I slapped them together because they were all SSR units. Oh boy, what just happened? You can see here that I just kind of slapped together a bunch of different units that I had when I first started playing this. And that is something that I wish I knew about when I first started playing with the units you use for a leader. There's different leader skills. Let's see. If you hold down on the unit, you can pull up this screen. It'll show the growth of the unit. So how much they can awaken, what it takes to awaken them. You can go straight to training for them. You can do all sorts of stuff from that screen. You can also, if you look down here, it'll show your leader skill or their leader skill. So this one says, once it finishes its cycle, it'll also show your super attack level. Okay, Realm of Gods category key +5 and HP, attack and defense +55% when team includes all 5 super types. So the super types are going to be the different types, and they'll say super above. Down here is the super attack. His is God Kamehameha, causes supreme damage to an enemy and raises defense for 5 turns. So that's the effect of the attack. We'll show you the detail list here. So if you look up here, it shows the HP, attack, and defense. It'll show the level, team cost, how much XP to the next level, what its max level is, super attack, all that stuff. It'll show its passive skill, which attack and defense +55% plus an additional attack 55% with 5 or more key spheres obtained, plus an additional attack 55% when performing a super attack. So this is a really good unit, or a pretty decent unit at least. It's not super bad, it's not super great. I think you get this unit on startup right now with the 5-year anniversary, which, by the way, the 5-year anniversary for the game is happening right now. Major event, super cool. Really, if you're going to start this game, start it now, because you're going to get so many Dragon Stones and so much free stuff to just absolutely boost your account. Start it now. And I think that ends August 10th. So you're going to get free stuff every day until August 10th to really boost your account. So like I said, seriously, start your account now. Here you can see the hidden potential stuff. It'll show what percentage of the hidden potential you have activated, all the different buffs from that, the skill orbs, which I don't have any on this guy because I don't really use him. And then I'll talk about link skills and category stuff at a later date, or in a different video, I suppose. Now here you can see the team cost, total team cost, total attack, total HP, all that fun stuff, the leader and their leader skill. Then here, all the way over here, is the team I've been using on this video. The leader here is the AGL Gohan that you can get from the current banner. I'll show you that summoning stuff in a different video. Up here you can see your friend supporter unit. So you can choose from any of your units, I believe. Yeah, you can literally choose any unit at all. You could use one of these level 1 normal units if you wanted. Mine is actually this unit. Oh, hang on. Is actually this unit here. He is one of the first units I pulled from the summoning when I first started the game, and I absolutely love him. He's so good. You want to try and assign a good unit there so that people can use it whenever they're selecting a friend. I didn't mention it earlier on the battle screen, but when you're getting ready for a battle, it will make you select a friend unit to take into battle with you. Those are so valuable because you get the leader skill from your leader and from the friend unit, so they stack. So if you have this guy as a unit or as a leader and you have the friend unit as this guy too, you'll get its leader skill twice. So I'll show you that leader skill in just a bit. So Kamehameha category, ki +3, HP +130%, and attack and defense +170%, or Super AGL type, ki +3, and an HP attack and defense +120%. So good. I mean, you look at how big these attack stats are, and you think of HP +130%, and then these +170%. So good. Like, honestly, that leader skill is really good for the Kamehameha category. In a different video, I'll go over the categories and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to go ahead and get out of the team screen, or out of that team screen at least. This is a different team screen. We will go ahead and show the training. And let's see. We'll show it on, hang on. We'll show it on that Gohan. So here we have different training items. I guess I should show a little bit more in depth. So you can see here where you can add training items and training partners. It'll say the next level and then how much it requires to get there. Your current level, HP, all that kind of fun stuff. Your super attack level, which once you LR a unit, its super attack can get it goes from being capped at level 10 to level 20, which is extremely great. But we'll go ahead and add some training items here. You can hit that auto button there, and it will automatically add like however much you need to cap out the level, or to be maximum level. For this, I'll just go ahead and show you like how to choose the training items. It'll show like some generic stuff about it on here. We'll go ahead and add all of these, and then as many of these as we can, which is 10. And then it'll show you as you're adding them, like, you know, the requirement for the XP going down. This unit is super high level, and these training items are really bad, so they're not going to have much of an effect on him. Go ahead and show the training. Does this cool little animation. Fighting against a Cyberman. And then you can get big success, great success, or super success, and they will give a like multiplier benefit to the amount of experience you get. The great is 1.5, the super is 2 times, and then the big was 1.2, as you saw there. That's not guaranteed that that's going to happen. You can get a like just generic, 1 times multiplier essentially. But then we can also have training partners. These are super cool and super good because it will level up the super attack level. And I'll go ahead and show you that by putting on 5 training partners. And we'll go ahead and add some training items too, just to get a little bit of experience. But since we put on these 5 super attack level units, when they say 100% by them, obviously that means it's a guarantee that that unit will raise the super attack by 1 level. If there's 5 of them, it goes up 5 levels to level 15. So we'll go ahead and do that. And it'll warn you, since those are SSR units, and then super attack is now level 15 out of 20. So it's really good to invest in that and to get your super attacks up in levels. Let me go ahead and try and show you here. So this, you can have up to 5 items and 10 of each item, so basically 50 items total. Down here will tell you the amount of Zenny required to do the transaction essentially. Here it will show you the amount of XP you're going to gain from this, and then here it'll show you what level you're going to become, the stat increases, like what they're going to be afterwards, and the increase, and then it'll show you how much left you need to get to the next level after this one. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and skip the animation. Big success, 1.2 times. So we got to the max level because of that 1.2 times, which is 100 for this unit, since he is only a UR, like been awakened 1 time, I think. Now you can go straight to the awakening. For the sake of teaching, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to talk about one more thing on the training screen. That is the training locations. So each location will have a different buff for the training. So this one, 10,000 XP per training partner or training item kind. That is going to be added when you use this. Some of them have higher XPs, like 30,000. Some of them guarantees a big success, great success, or super success. 50,000, 70,000 XP added per training partner or item. It's good to use those like training locations whenever you can to get some of the higher level units to their maximum level. But on that Gohan earlier, since I don't have many training items, I can only do this many at a time. It's really not worth it to use any kind of training locations. It's just going to waste them, honestly. Down below there, you probably briefly saw, I'll show you in just a second after this. Oh, shoot. Down here, that is how much Zenny you have. Like I said earlier, the Zenny is the currency in the game. You want to make sure you have a lot of it at all times. There are some missions you can do that give you a lot of Zenny per every time you do the mission. You can also sell up here. Some missions will give you units called Hercule statues, which are worth a ton of Zenny. And then you can also get some from the 5-year anniversary event right now. It's pretty great. Now, going to the Awakening, we're going to go ahead and go for that tech unit that we trained up earlier. So looking at this Super Saiyan 2 Goku Angel, he requires these training medals, which we don't have enough of, but if you hold down on them again, it will show you them more in depth at the top here, tell you the effect, and then you can also go straight to the event from this screen where you can get these training medals, and I'll show you that real quick. If you go to the event and then click on this exclamation point that was over here, you can scroll down. It'll show you the drops for each stage, just kind of tell you a little bit about them throughout, show you what the boss is going to be, talk about the event a little bit more, boss type information, which is really useful. Make sure you plan accordingly based on that. It'll show you some of the units that you can use these items for. And if we go all the way down, it'll show you the event period. When it's an active event, 1 Dragonstone will be rewarded for clearing each difficulty in stage 1 and 2. And then just some other notes throughout. So that's pretty much how the events work too. I'll show you how to get to that probably in a different video because we're running a little bit long for this one. That's how the awakening works. You can awaken units to make them much stronger. So the way I made this into an LR unit, so you go to the growth. This one here is the basic unit. This is what I pulled from the summoning. And then I had to use these awakening medals in order to get him to this unit, which now he is a UR as opposed to an SSR, and he's got a cooler background. And then I had to use these to get him to this unit. He's a UR still. He is technically a different unit. He's still within the same growth path though, so he's pointing at his crotch. So he's not a different unit, but also he is his leader skill changed, his attack changed, that kind of stuff, I believe. And then here, I'll show you. I had to get all of these awakening medals from different events. You get depending on the event, you can get 3 to 4, sometimes 2, sometimes 6, like that kind of amount from the event. And if you use a boost, you can get double that. Definitely save your boosts for these or to grind up Zenny and Dragonstone, or not Dragonstones, Zenny and awakening medals and training items and all that kind of stuff when you can. I'll show you that in a little bit. But yeah, that's how you awaken units to get them stronger, turn them into LR units, which are the best in the game. And they've got the best like leader skills, attacks, all that kind of fun stuff. So, moving away from the awakening stuff, you've got your items. I'm not really going to go too in depth with that because it's pretty simple stuff. It shows you all of your items. Character list, these are all of the units you have currently. I suggest locking some of your best units. I have a habit of the second I get like an SSR unit that I don't already have, I lock it. Some people would think that's bad. I personally just don't want to accidentally get rid of units that I don't still have like a dupe for. Dokkan Awakening, I'm not really sure what the difference is between this and the regular Awakening screen. Like obviously there's a clear difference, but like not entirely sure why. I guess it just shows you the growth and all that kind of stuff, like that information. So I guess that's cool. When you're a new player, you're not going to have access to the hidden potential or the reverse yet, so I'll go over those in separate videos. And then the special stickers, which don't... Oh, I do have. Using a special... E. So we're going to see what he looks... What makes him look different. Oh man, that's so cool. So the special stickers can add like animations and stuff like this. I've never actually applied one until just now. That's pretty cool. And then they will kind of have a glow go across them normally now. Let's see. Do I have any others? I do. Check this guy out. It's just a fun like extra thing to do. It really has no perk or buff or anything like that, no benefit to the actual gameplay. It's just cool. There's the shop in the game where you get to spend real money on dragon stones here, and then character slots and stamina and all that kind of stuff. And then the Baba exchange. I talked about this a little bit earlier. The Baba shop is super useful. You can get these like harder to get awakening medals from it. You can also get character locations, the like common awakening medals in big amounts, support items. You can keep unlocking slots for it. Up here it shows how many points you have. It shows here how to get them, so we can trade different characters for those Baba points. I'm not going to show that because there's no characters I want to trade right now. You can also trade like any of this stuff, so there's a lot of stuff you can trade for the Baba points. There's also a Zenny shop. I'm going to go ahead and just purchase some of this stuff. Some of these items you can only get from this shop so far, from what I've seen so far, I mean. Like these Hercule Champion Belt Awakening medals in order to awaken Hercule. This one, see? So far I've only seen these in the Baba shop. If you click on it, it doesn't actually give you an option to go to an event for them, so, you know, that's why I buy them there. One more thing I want to show you here, that's the missions. Make sure if you're like just starting out, you try to do all of your daily missions, perform one summon or friend summon, or one summon on friend summon per day, and then you can get this training area down here as a reward for that. You get that every day, that mission. Then you've got different missions that do not reset every day, like all these special missions and stuff like that. So there's a ton of missions you can do in the game. It's a great way to, like, I guess, give yourself a goal. When you see some of these dragon stones, like you get 20 dragon stones for reaching rank 400. That might not seem like, you know, something interesting to a newer player maybe, but when you get one dragon stone per stage that you do for the first time you clear it, and that's it. These missions that give 20 at a time, or like 15, 10, 5, like, you're pretty happy with them. It's in the Supreme Kai's trial. So these are actually based on the Z-hard difficulties in the quest missions, in these missions here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to look out for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle content because I will be doing more. I've already got a couple more videos planned out, so I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next ones. Thanks again, take care, and goodbye.